Blues rock has given us some of the most powerful and emotional guitar playing ever, but not everyone who shaped it became famous. In this video, we're looking at 10 underrated blues rock guitarists who played with pure heart and incredible skill. They never got the attention they earned, but their impact runs deep in rock history. Well, Roy Buchanan might be the most emotional Telecaster player to ever touch a string. His tone could break your heart, pure, aching, and alive. Born in Arkansas, he spent his life chasing sound over fame, using volume and touch instead of effects. What gets me every time is the control. He could scream or whisper with just a bend. Jeff Beck once called him the best unknown guitarist in the world, and Clapton studied his phrasing. Yet despite their praise, Roy never had mainstream success. He wasn't flashy, didn't chase hits, he just played from the soul. Tracks like The Messiah Will Come Again or Sweet Dreams still sound like confessions. His tone feels like electricity and sorrow mixed together. Tragically, Buchanan died in 1988, leaving behind a small but legendary discography. For me, he's the definition of underrated, a genius who spoke directly through 6 strings and never got the credit he deserved. Do you agree that Frank Marino came closer than anyone in the 70s to capturing Hendrix's spirit without ever copying him? Born in Montreal, he fused blues, psychedelia, and high-voltage rock into something wild and soulful. His tone was molten, his phrasing full of emotion, and his phrasing could shift from fury to tenderness in a heartbeat. What amazes me is his endurance. Decade after decade, he kept delivering scorching solos and never lost that fire. Mahogany Rush had a devoted following, but the band never broke through commercially. Critics often dismissed him as a Hendrix clone, which was unfair. He simply spoke the same musical language with his own accent. Listen to Dragonfly the Answer or Strange Universe, and you'll hear it. Blues filtered through cosmic energy. Marino's later live performances are jaw-dropping, fast, fierce, yet deeply expressive. To me, Frank Marino isn't just underrated. He's criminally overlooked, one of the purest blues rock spirits of his generation, and a player who still deserves rediscovery. I've always felt Rory Gallagher is one of those guitarists every player worships, yet somehow most rock fans still overlook him. Born in Ireland, he built his reputation on relentless touring and raw, sweat-drenched performances that made every night feel like a last stand. His battered 61 Stratocaster became an extension of his soul, scarred and worn from thousands of gigs. What makes Rory special to me is the honesty in every note. No tricks, no ego, just heart and electricity. Songs like A Million Miles Away and Tattooed Lady capture that perfect mix of melancholy and fire. Rory influenced everyone from Brian May to The Edge, yet he never chased fame or trends. He turned down joining the Rolling Stones because he preferred doing things his way. Even now, his live album Irish Tour 74 remains a masterclass in emotion and energy. Rory Gallagher was the real deal, pure blues spirit bottled in human form, forever underappreciated by the mainstream. Now, Robin Trower's tone might be the most soulful and fluid sound to ever come from a Stratocaster. A veteran of Procol Harum, he broke free in the early 70s and unleashed Bridge of Sighs, an album that still sends chills down my spine. People often call him the British Hendrix, but that sells him short. Trower's style is about atmosphere, not imitation. His vibrato could make even silence sing, and his Stratocaster seemed to breathe under his fingers. What fascinates me is how consistent he's been. Decades later, he's still releasing albums that feel alive, textured, and honest. Songs like Day of the Eagle or Two Rolling Stones show his command of dynamics and feel, and yet, outside devoted fans, his name rarely comes up in classic rock conversations. For me, Robin Trower is proof that the blues isn't just about speed, it's about feel, and nobody makes a single note feel quite like he does. Few people realize Kim Simmonds helped build the foundation of British blues rock, yet history rarely mentions him alongside Clapton or Peter Green. He started Savoy Brown in 1965, giving us a bridge between traditional blues and the harder rock to come. What I admire most is his commitment. While other bands imploded or changed course, Kim kept Savoy Brown alive for more than 50 years, touring constantly and releasing dozens of albums. His playing was earthy yet elegant, deeply rooted in the blues. Listen to Hellbound Train, Street Corner Talking, or Train to Nowhere. His tones speak straight to the soul. Even after his passing in 2022, his influence lives on quietly among blues purists. I always felt Kim Simmonds represented dedication in its purest form, a lifelong servant of the blues who never stopped chasing the perfect note, even when the spotlight faded. Let's talk about Jim McCarty, a guitarist so raw and powerful he could out-blues almost anyone of his era. As a member of Cactus, he delivered blistering riffs that made the band feel like Led Zeppelin's heavier, dirtier cousin. What's wild is how few people know his name, even though his peers worshipped him. McCarty's tone had this gritty urgency, part blues, part proto-metal, and his solos always sounded like they were about to burst into flames. Beyond Cactus, he played with the Rockets and contributed to Detroit's roaring rock scene, influencing a generation of garage and hard rock players. Listen to Let Me Swim, Parchment Farm, or Evil, and you'll hear his ferocity and that unfiltered attack that made him special. He was never about polish, just power and feel. For me, McCarty is that hidden gem you stumble upon and wonder, how did I never hear this guy before? He's proof that the loudest players can still be deeply soulful, passionate, and unforgettable. I still remember hearing Pat Travers for the first time. His mix of swagger and skill defined late 70s blues rock for me. His live shows were electric, full of energy, attitude, and serious chops. Songs like Boom Boom, Out Go the Lights, and Snortin' Whiskey made him a star for a moment, but mainstream fame slipped away as the 80s arrived. What I've always loved about Travers is his versatility. He could burn through solos 1 minute and deliver smooth, funky grooves the next. Guitar forms still rave about him as the most underrated, and for good reason. His phrasing and control rival anyone from his era. His band always sounded tight, and his tone was sharp, yet melodic, always full of bite. Even today, Pat keeps touring, delivering killer performances for loyal fans who still know every riff. He might have missed superstardom, but among players, he's an enduring legend who continues to remind us what real, unapologetic blues rock sounds like. If there's a name that deserves more love in the blues world, it's Walter Trout. He's lived the life, years with John Mayall's Blues Breakers, endless touring, and a solo career bursting with passion. His tone is volcanic, and his solos are emotional journeys that rise and fall like a storm. I've seen crowds fall silent mid-solo just watching him pour everything into a note. Trout's story is one of survival too. Battling illness, returning stronger than ever, and playing as if each show could be his last. Albums like Battle Scars, Ordinary Madness, and We're All in This Together prove that authenticity still matters. He doesn't chase trends, he plays the truth. And yet, beyond the blues community, he's barely known. For me, Walter Trout embodies what the blues is all about: pain, resilience, and heart translated into music. He's one of the best still doing it today. Here's a fact that always amazes me. Jeff Healey turned his blindness into a completely new way of playing guitar. Playing the guitar flat on his lap, he developed a style that was both visual and emotional. Every bend, every slide felt personal. His breakout album, See the Light, in songs like Confidence Man and Angel Eyes, showcased a level of phrasing few could match. What I admire is how he blended blues, rock, and jazz seamlessly, never relying on sympathy, only skill and spirit. Stevie Ray Vaughan admired him, and so did B.B. King. Healey had perfect pitch and an ear for tone that made every solo feel alive. Despite the praise, mainstream fame eluded him, especially outside Canada. Healey's live performances, though, remain unforgettable. Watching him play, eyes closed, hands dancing over the strings, it's pure music from the soul. He could be tender one moment and explosive the next. Jeff Healey didn't just play the blues, he lived it, and his legacy deserves far more recognition than it's ever received. Most people know Alvin Lee for his lightning speed at Woodstock, but few remember how deeply he was rooted in the blues. Before the fame, he was a blues purist, channeling Muddy Waters and Freddie King through British rock energy. His solos were explosive, but his phrasing had real feel and swing. Songs like Love Like a Man, Good Morning Little Schoolgirl, and I'm Going Home showcase both sides, speed and soul. What fascinates me is how fame worked against him. Audiences focused on his flash, not his depth. But listen closer, and you'll hear a man who worshipped the blues as much as Clapton or Page. Offstage, he was humble and dedicated to his craft until his final years. Alvin Lee may be remembered for his speed, but to me, his heart was always in the blues, and that's what truly defined him. These players might not headline classic rock radio, but their impact runs deep through every note of modern blues and rock guitar. They played with honesty, grit, and fire, often for love, not fame. If you're a blues rock fan, now's the time to rediscover them. Who's your favorite underrated blues guitarist? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to hit subscribe for more guitarist stories.